are these used Adidas sneakers worth 17 euros. They were the most expensive used shoes I ordered. They actually look really nice, but I already got other shoes which were in a similar condition, like these for example. These only cost 7 or 8 euros. These for example, basically perfectly used condition, cost also 8 euros. So I got these because I asked ChatGPT which ones would be perfect for the gym and simultaneously would also be cool, not in the sense of stylish, but in the sense of not hot, thus allowing cardiovascular activity like basketball with a lower body temperature and thus higher cardiovascular output. But these, compared to running shoes at least, I mean these are kind of running shoes, but then really modern running shoes like these only have this mesh, which for basketball, at least for me, is much better because it is cooler, and so I can perform much higher compared to shoes, maybe not necessarily these, but these are already tried for basketball, too hot, and also not thick enough of a sole, which obviously the thicker it is an advantage for basketball because it brings you closer to the hoop at a given height. I also tried these for basketball, also indoor shoes, but these were also way too hot. I also tried barefoot shoes for basketball, but the running economics are just inferior to using technology. And because basketball is a competitive sport, obviously I don't want to put myself at a disadvantage. So now I have these, and 17 euro is still money, which I would get back if I would send them back. Now the sole looks thick, but it's also not that thick. So the height advantage when playing basketball is not that big. I also didn't try them for basketball yet, also because they are used, and if I send them back, now because on the outside the sole is thicker than what stands on the inside. The sole thickness is around 3.2 centimeters, but also in the front it's only 2. I found that having shoes where the front is not that much thinner compared to the back is more advantageous, at least in terms of my running ergonomics. Basketball is mostly a sport with short sprints where you do something a little bit with your hands and resting in between. So running shoes for these sprints seem to be what is advantageous. But I also don't know if the sole here is actually really an indoor sole. I mean, it kind of looks like it. What bothers me a little, the material here is just a little bit too thick. In summer, these were already too hot. And of course, indoors, it's always heated. Thus, even with these, I'm kind of running too hot already. They do look kind of good. And indoors, I'm wearing these shoes from Adidas. They are really easy to slip in and out of, and in terms of used shoes, they also were on the more expensive side, costing me 16.65. But also they were basically in really good condition. What the company that sells these shoes does is it puts them at a high price in the beginning, and then it sees if people buy them and maybe send them back, and then they reduce the price until they sell. Now these also would have plastic support in the back, which would allow me to easily slip in and out of. These seem to cause a thermoregulation problem in me, where I kind of sweat cold in these. Other shoes don't cause this, so probably it's the shoe. Maybe I could replace these, therefore, for these. And what's useful about used shoes is that if I now want to sell them, they are still in kind of the same condition, maybe a little bit more degraded, but they are still used. So I don't have to pay much of the difference between the price of a new shoe and a used shoe.